Hey guys, today I want to talk about something kind of strange. And this is one of the biggest differences between American women and Filipinas. And this doesn't go for everybody. I don't want to generalize everybody and stick everybody in the same slot and say, well, everybody over in the Philippines is cookie cutter. All the women are cookie cutter. They're not. They're not. But there are a lot of things in common that they do have. And one of them is jealousy over here. And I hear this from all the guys all the time. No matter, just about every single guy that I know, with the exception of one or two, the girls have jealousy issues. If you have a picture, whether it be on your phone, or you have a phone number of an ex-girlfriend, or you have somebody on your Facebook, maybe an ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife or something, because you need to, maybe you have a daughter with them or a son with them, or maybe you have contact with them because of a legal obligation that you have or something like that. Or maybe just in case you ever need something, when you ended as friends and you're still capable of being friends. A lot of people have left their exes and are still friendly with their exes, or they have legal obligations, or they have children or whatever together. That's part of what the problem is, that a lot of Americans, we're different in that we keep a lot of those relationships open and still friendly, or semi-friendly, I'll say, okay? And that can be a problem with a lot of Filipinas over here, because Filipinas get very jealous. And even if you don't like your ex, but you still need to be in contact with her, maybe because of, we'll say, a legal obligation or something, or a legal document, and you need to go back and forth on stuff every once in a while. A lot of girls over here get pissed off over the fact that you still have conversations or obligations or whatever with these people. Even if you're not talking to them that much, if they just find out that you have that in your phone or what have you, or if they go through your stuff, if they check something, or if they find a picture that you have a family photo album and your ex is in those pictures, and you want to keep those pictures because there's other people in those pictures that you love or whatever, the girls here get very, very jealous. And jealousy is a huge issue. It's kind of a cultural issue over here with the Filipinas. And sometimes it can get quite nasty and stupid at the same time. It can get really stupid. And you got to kind of go through it to understand. And you could tell your girlfriend or whatever that you can't stand your ex, or you can't stand your ex-girlfriend or your ex-wife or whatever. And then they'll say, well, maybe you hate them so much that you love them. They'll say stuff like that, really weird, like stuff. And I've heard that before. You hate them so much that you love them. And it's like, well, I've never heard that one before, but okay. And it can be quite strange when you hear stuff like that. And they really get kind of demented sometimes over this. They get quite uptight. You might get tempo from it. She might just get scary on you a little bit, start going crazy and maybe talking fresh to you or whatever. And that's part of what goes on here with this jealousy issue over here. And some guys, what they do is they say, well, if my girlfriend ever does that next, I'm going to dump them and get rid of them. Most guys don't. But some guys do that, and you're going to go through girls like toilet paper over here if you say that. Every time a girl gets jealous, I'm done. That's when I'm done. That if you say that, then you're probably going to be dumping a lot of girls over here, because there's not many that don't do it over here. A lot of girls, you think that they're going to grow up as they get older. It actually still happens even in their 50s and 40s and 60s. You still see this happening, because a lot of the guys in our group, they have women that are older or what have you. They have, and they still have the little girl issues, the teenage issues, and 20-year-old issues. And it's strange as hell to see a 60-year-old or a 50-year-old that you think is going to be a lot more mature do this. And I tend to believe that a lot of the Filipino women that live in the Philippines, and I'm not talking about U.S. women or U.S. or Filam girls, I'm talking about Filipino girls that live here. Culturally, it sticks in them. And I'm not sure it happens that much when they go to the US. I think they kind of let go of that a little bit. I think they start seeing the American culture. They kind of let that in a little bit, and it's a little bit different. And but over here, it's definitely a strange thing. And be aware of that, guys. Sometimes it takes months or even years for this to come out in one of the girls. And when it rears its ugly head, you're probably going to say something out of anger to these girls because it gets really weird. They start saying things out of anger because they're jealous. Jealousy is a terrible thing, man, when you're going through it with a Filipina, because Filipinas will be brutal. They'll get mad for days on end over something that's nothing. And I mean nothing. Maybe you had a conversation and said, "Hey, how you doing?" to somebody or whatever, and it just checking in. Or maybe that person that, ex-girlfriend or ex-wife has ties to somebody that you love or care about, or a friend or whatever, and it's the only way other contact you have in case you can't contact anybody. These are the things that keep you tied to these people. But sometimes if you can just get rid of that relationship, if that makes it easier and you don't really have that close of a tie anymore because you're living over here, it's worth it to probably just end it, just so you don't run into that every time you date a girl. And trust me, it'll keep coming up over and over and over again. It gets to be kind of monotonous sometimes having this happen over here with people. And I've sat down with many of the guys over here, so I get to see it happening a lot. And we talk about it when we're sitting down, and we're just having a conversation, sitting in the cabana here or something, or we're having a barbecue. It pops up, the jealousy issue. It comes up sometimes, and we all talk about it. Yeah, I'm going through that too, and I'm there too, and you hear that, and it's kind of funny because in the United States, although girls get jealous, and it's usually when they're younger, like in their teens or something like that, usually by the 20s, American women have grown out of that. In the Philippines, they don't grow out of it. It's really bizarre. But this is what I say when I tell people that in the Philippines, when you come over here, you're trading issues that you have in the United States for issues over here in the Philippines, and jealousy is just one of them. The other issue here is the families. Families over here, if they know that you got a little bit of money, and you should not be telling people how much you have, if they know that you have a little bit of money, even if you're on a $1,500 a month pension or whatever, or Social Security or something, they want a piece of that, and they almost expect a piece of that. It's almost kind of expected over here, and that's another thing that Americans have to deal with over here, that you make sure you put your foot down with that right from the get-go, because the divorce rate for Americans with Filipinas is still about the same no matter where. A lot of guys think it's going to be better over here. It's probably not. It's still 50-50. I'll bet you it's 50-50. A lot of the long-term relationships over here that you almost consider as a marriage, some of them end up breaking up or whatever, and people move on and they go about their own way. Remember, a lot of the issues are family issues over here and the jealousy issues that you're going to have. Those are the big ones. Like I said, again, you're trading the issues that you have with American women for issues that you're going to have with Filipino women, and they're just different issues. Are the women over here sweeter and kinder? Yes, until you get in a battle with them over jealousy or family issues. Then you'll find out what you're dealing with, and it's the same. You're going to get the same aggravation that you get back home from in the U.S., only you're going to get it over here. Will it happen as much? Probably not. I don't think it's as much over here. That's one of the reasons why I think a lot of guys come over here. But a lot of guys think that the women over here are going to be submissive 24/7 to you. It's not totally true. And don't expect that. And a lot of guys come over here, and if the woman's not submissive, they keep on going and going and going until they think they're going to find one. And they don't find one, because Filipinas, once you get to know them, they're very talkative, and they're almost very similar to American women in some ways. They have changed. If you were here back in the 70s and 60s and 80s, it's a lot different now than it was back then. Keep that in mind, guys. When you're coming over here, there's a lot of trade-offs. You're trading one thing just for another thing. You're trading American women's issues for the issues over here like jealousy and the family issues. That's it. Keep that in mind, guys. You know, if you can get through that, then you're doing good. If you got a girl that's really quiet and that's what you're looking for, you know, be careful, because sometimes the quiet woman can be the worst. Anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and be sure to leave comments. God bless, guys. Take care.